In this exercise, we're going to use an array list to determine the maximum value in a data set. And we're going to do that by generating a set of random numbers, storing them in an array list, and then looping through the array list to determine which value is the maximum. It'll be very similar to the minimum method we wrote earlier in this chapter. So let's get started by first creating a method to build our array list. So we'll call it build_al. It will take two parameters, an array list, and the number of items we want to store in the array list. The first thing we need to do is create a random number generator, current time millis. Then we're going to loop from 0 through the number of items we want, or one less than that. Array.add, and then rand next int, and we'll just use the range of 0 through 100. And there's our build_al method. Now we're ready to write the maximum method. This is an integer method that will return the position of the maximum value in the array list. So it's static int maximum, array list integer arr, int max position equals 0, because we're going to assume that the maximum value is stored at position 0. Then we're going to loop through the array list starting at position 1 through the size, or one less than the size. If an item in the position of I is greater than the item stored in the position of max pos, then we will make that value of I become the new max pos value. So if array.get sub I is greater than array list.get max pos equals I. And that's all we have to do. That will loop through the array list and eventually store the position of the maximum value in max pos. Oh yes, we have to return that, of course. So the first thing we need to do is create an array list. We'll call it numbers. Then we'll call the build array list method with array list numbers and let's say 10 items. Then we're going to say int max equals maximum of numbers. And that will call the method and determine what the maximum value is, stored in max. And then we can write out the result, system out println. The maximum value is plus numbers.get max. We do need one other thing. Let's display the array list so that we can actually see the different values. So let's save the file, clear the screen. And of 72, 92, 64, 46, 13, 20, 94, 38, 35, 57, the maximum value is 94. That's right. Let's run it again. This time we can see that yes, 95 is the largest value there. And let's run it one more time. And this time the largest value is 94, and that's right. So that's how you find a maximum value using an array list. And again, the concept is by using a data structure such as an array list, you make your program more efficient and easy to write and maintain than trying to do it with individual variables. Later in the course, we're going to see how to use another type of data structure, an array, to organize data also. And then we'll compare the array list to the array and look at the features of both. But for now, we're going to move on to the next chapter where we're going to start looking more in depth at object-oriented programming.